Welcome back to the deep dive. Think about those moments, those really profound insights you sometimes have.
Yeah, the kind that really shift your perspective.
Exactly. And when you try to, boil it down to a simple sentence, it just loses something, doesn't it?
It really does. The meaning feels too big, almost too potent for just plain words.
Well, that very idea that some wisdom is just too transformative for literal language,
Yeah.
that's right at the heart of what we're exploring today, isn't it?
It is. We're taking a deep dive into the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood, and specifically how they used symbolism, allegory, these veiled methods.
Right. Methods to convey truth. But the crucial part, as I understand it from the sources, is why they did it. It wasn't to be obscure or deliberately confusing.
No, not at all. They saw these symbols and stories not as obstacles, but as keys, tools designed very carefully to unlock understanding.
Keys for the soul, essentially, not just the logical mind.
Precisely. So our mission today really is twofold. First, let's unpack their core thinking on why wisdom often needs a veil. And second, we'll look at the specific symbols, the allegories, the rituals they used across their initiation degrees to actually spark that spiritual awakening in you, the listener.
Right, let's get into that core philosophy first, because, the obvious question is, why veil it? If enlightenment is the goal, wouldn't a straightforward manual be, well, faster?
Yeah, that efficiency argument seems logical on the surface, but it kind of misses the point if the aim isn't just information transfer, but actual transformation.
Ah, okay. Transformation versus information.
Exactly. The Brotherhood's texts emphasize this. True wisdom isn't something you just download into your brain. It has to be experienced, wrestled with, uncovered from within.
So someone just hands you the answer.
The process stops, the learning is short-circuited. But if you have to meditate on a symbol, reflect on an allegory, struggle to find the meaning, that struggle itself changes you.
I see. So reading gives me data, but interpreting a symbol forces me to engage intuition, maybe emotion, more parts of myself.
That's a great way to put it. The Brotherhood taught that wisdom drapes her truth, as they put it, because the divine communicates beyond just the analytical mind. It speaks directly to the soul.
The part of you that grasps things beyond the everyday.
Right. These tools aren't just lessons, they're guides for your inner journey. They're meant to shift you from being just a spectator in life to an active participant in this larger cosmic picture. The knowledge actually changes the knower.
Okay, that makes sense. If the goal is to speak to the soul and bypass just the intellect, then symbolism seems like the natural first step.
It is. Symbolism is like the soul's native language. It operates beneath the surface, hinting at deeper truths. And that's exactly what we see in those first few initiate degrees 1 to 3.
Right, the foundational symbols.
Yes. In those early stages, the initiate needs to internalize 3 core symbols about their place in the cosmos: the ocean, the wave, and the ship.
Okay, let's break those down. The ocean, that's the starting point.
Correct. It represents the cosmic source, the infinite, unknowable consciousness from which everything arises. Think of it as the totality of being.
And within that ocean, you have the wave.
The wave symbolizes thought, manifestation, the process of becoming. It teaches the initiate that thoughts aren't just passive things, they're active energy shaping your reality.
Like ripples spreading outwards.
Exactly. And the ship, well, that's more personal.
That's us, right? The physical body.
Yes, the ship is the physical body. It's your vessel, the instrument you use to navigate this vast ocean of existence. The very first step is recognizing the ship you're in and how it's constantly affected by the waves, the thoughts passing through it.
Okay. But what's really interesting looking at the material is how these symbols aren't static definitions. They evolve. Take the wave again.
Yeah.
In degree 1, it's about recognizing thought's power. But by degree 2, it seems to become more of an instruction, right?
It absolutely does. In the second degree, the wave becomes a metaphor for your mental and emotional journey through life. The challenge shifts. It's not just knowing thoughts flow, it's about learning to ride them.
To steer them, almost.
Precisely. To direct your thoughts consciously towards higher awareness, mastering your inner currents, your mental wave, through practices like meditation and ritual that becomes the path.
Okay, so once you've got a basic handle on steering your ship, managing the waves of the mind, you need a destination, a bigger picture. Is that where allegory comes in?
That's exactly right. Allegory adds that narrative layer. It deliberately moves the initiate away from the purely literal into the metaphysical realm. It demands reflection.
Because the truth isn't spelled out.
Right. It's veiled within the story, forcing you to invest your own inner insight, your spiritual energy, to uncover it.
And a prime example of this appears pretty early in the higher degrees, in the fourth degree illuminated light. That's the blazing star allegory.
Yes, the blazing star is central. It represents the divine light of wisdom, the spark within that illuminates the soul.
So what does that allegory teach practically? About shedding illusions, for instance.
It teaches that the darkness isn't external evil, usually. It's the internal illusion of separation, of identifying solely with the material world, the ego.
Okay.
The star acts as a guide away from that darkness. It shows you that true reality is internal, constant. It urges you to let go of attachments to temporary things, status, possessions, even fixed ideas about yourself. It's the guiding light when you feel lost in the darkness of confusion, as the texts call it.
So if I'm picturing this right, the blazing star helps the captain, the initiate, keep their ship aimed true, focused on something eternal, not just the choppy waves nearby.
That's a perfect image. It's about spiritual navigation, course correction. When your ship hits storms, doubt, setbacks, life's chaos, the blazing star is that fixed reference point.
The non-negotiable alignment.
Yes. It ensures that even amidst turmoil, your choices, your direction consistently move you towards that inner light.
This brings us to something the sources really stress: ritual. Understanding symbols and allegories intellectually isn't enough. You have to live it, embody it.
Absolutely. Ritual is the bridge. It's the how-to for embodiment. It moves the initiate beyond just knowing about the truth to actually experiencing it directly.
Making it real inside.
Exactly. Transforming abstract ideas into lived internal reality. This becomes especially vital in what they call the Navigator degrees, degrees 4 through 6.
Okay, so what's a key ritual in those degrees that embodies this navigation idea?
The captain's wheel ritual is paramount there. It powerfully reinforces personal agency, personal responsibility, literally and metaphorically. As the initiate engages with the ritual wheel, the teaching sinks in. The wheel of life is in our hands. You steer your course.
But, the ocean's vast external forces, the winds, the currents, they're real. Does the ritual imply the captain is totally alone, solely responsible? Or is there support?
That's a really insightful question. The ritual addresses this subtly. While you absolutely control the direction, your moral compass, your spiritual aim, you're not entirely isolated.
Okay.
The Brotherhood itself acts as a kind of supportive fleet, but the ritual's core lesson is unwavering. Take full ownership of your heading and speed. Acknowledge the external winds, yes, but never let go of the wheel. It's about mastering yourself within the collective journey.
Self-mastery, steering your own ship, your own thoughts.
That's the essence of it.
And this focus on active steering, on self-measurement, seems to get even more precise later on. Right? In the 8th degree Sacred Temple, there's another tool. The sextant.
Ah, the sextant, yes. An incredibly profound ritual tool. Traditionally, a sextant measures the angle between the horizon and a star to find your position on Earth.
Right.
In the Brotherhood's ritual, this is internalized. It's used symbolically.
So you're not measuring physical stars, but your soul's alignment. How does that even work? How do you measure inner vision?
Well, the ritual directs the initiate to use the symbolic sextant to measure the angle between their current inner state, their actions, intentions, thoughts, and that fixed point, the blazing star, the divine ideal.
Okay, so the horizon becomes
the everyday material world. The measurement reveals the deviation, the gap between where you are internally and where that divine path lies.
I see. So using the sextant in ritual
Yeah.
is about recognizing how closely your inner reality mirrors that highest truth.
Precisely. And then crucially, correcting your course based on that measurement, it's a tool for ongoing spiritual alignment.
A constant self-audit, ensuring the ship keeps sailing towards the light.
You've got it. It makes the embodiment real. Ritual isn't just watching something happen. It's using these symbolic tools to create a tangible, measurable inner experience of alignment with truth.
Okay, so we've journeyed through the foundational symbols like the ship and wave, the guiding narrative of the blazing star, the tools for agency like the captain's wheel and the sextant. If all this complex layering is guiding the initiate, where does it ultimately lead? What's revealed in the highest degree, the 9th degree of cosmic union?
After all that navigating through symbols, allegories, and the demands of ritual, the final realization, the ultimate unveiled truth, is actually stunningly simple.
Which is
Unity.
oneness.
Yes. The profound insight is that all those tools, all those symbols, the star, the ocean, the ship, the compass, the sextant, were ultimately just different reflections of one single underlying divine reality. They were all pointing towards the fundamental interconnectedness of everything. The experience of that unity is the destination.
So when that oneness is truly experienced, the need for symbols to explain separation just falls away.
It dissolves. The veil isn't needed anymore because the initiate is the truth they were seeking. They realize all paths, all the degrees, were just different ways of arriving at the same divine source that connects all life.
It sounds almost like climbing an intricate scaffold up a building, only to reach the top and realize the building's the scaffold, and it was all one structure from the start.
That's a beautiful way to put it. It is a synthesis. So the core takeaway, I think, is that wisdom isn't hidden from us to keep secrets. It's veiled for us to ensure the journey transforms us. The complexity is the method.
And it circles back perfectly to what Grandmaster WaXhira said, which feels like a fitting summary. The divine truth is not hidden. It is merely veiled in symbolism and allegory. Through ritual and inner transformation, we begin to see with the eyes of the soul, and the divine truth becomes clear.
A powerful statement indeed. And perhaps, for you listening, a final thought to carry with you from this deep dive. If enlightenment isn't just about absorbing facts, but about this transformative journey through symbols and rituals, what everyday symbols, maybe even brands or common sayings, might be acting like allegories in your life right now? What might be shaping your personal ship's course or directing your captain's wheel without you even consciously realizing it? What unexamined stories are you living by? Something to reflect on.
Definitely food for thought. We'll leave you with that. Until next time.